guys, what's up? It's Monkey. I'm back for another video, and in today's video we will be continuing the first What If I Ever started, entering the 10th part. We will be going into the next arc after having gone through the Beerus Black arc in the last part. In this part we will cover the Tournament of Power. This What If is what if Goten was born in the future, looking at a story more focused on Goten, which shows us what may have happened had Goten joined future Trunks in his bleak future. However, it's not so bleak as you might think. We are rapidly nearing the end of this What If, so if you want to get to the next part out as soon as possible, get this video to 150 likes. Also make sure you subscribe with post notifications on, and also make sure to follow me on Twitter and join my Discord server, as it would be highly appreciated. But with all that said, let's jump straight into the video. A few months have passed since the Beerus Black arc, and not a lot has happened. Everyone has kept up with their training, with Goten and Trunks often training together down on Earth, both in order to get better control over Kaioken and Mystic, while Goku and Vegeta have actually gone to Beerus' planet to train with Whis. This is so that they can learn God Ki better, and they already have Super Saiyan God, and so they are mainly training to achieve something completely new, something limit breaking. Yeah, I think you know what Goku and Vegeta are working towards. So, with Goku and Vegeta keeping up with their training, people down on Earth continue to their peaceful lives, living peacefully, keeping up with their training. However, that's when the Tournament of Power happens and is announced. Universe 7 is now forced to recruit a team, and Goku and Vegeta are both immediately put on the team, and then they go to recruit Goten and Trunks. While Goten and Trunks have been keeping up with their training, they also do have their own personal lives, Trunks continuing to blossom his relationship with Mai, and Goten also still has his thing going on with REZA. The two continue to grow closer, and Goten even gets a job, albeit he's not a scholar like his brother. He isn't like his father who works on a farm. I haven't really got any interesting ideas for a side job Goten could have or do, but maybe something to do with fighting, I guess. If you have any good ideas, please comment them down below. I am interested to see what you guys might think. I have no clue what job Goten could do. So, of course, Goten and Trunks join the team, and they actually help recruit people too. Goten, Trunks, and Goku all go pay a visit to Gohan, having continued his training by sparring with Piccolo. Gohan has now become a family man, completely devoting himself to Videl, with them even now having a daughter, of course, Pan. Gohan also still has his job of being a scholar, and upon arriving and seeing him, I feel as though Goku would want to challenge Gohan to a spar, feeling as though Gohan may have slacked off a bit. Oh, how wrong he was. Goku immediately powers up to Super Saiyan, with Gohan doing the same. Goten and Trunks watching the two begin to fight, seeming pretty equal. Goku even powering up to Super Saiyan 2, Gohan deciding to remain in just regular Super Saiyan, exchanging some friendly punches and kicks. Goku now powers up to Super Saiyan 4, surprising Gohan, who gets punched into a cliff. The cliff now explodes, Gohan in his Super Saiyan 3 form, rushing Goku. The two begin to fight, Gohan not holding much back, even using his Yardratian techniques. This surprises Super Saiyan 4 Goku, who thought he could easily take Gohan out. Goku even goes to his Super Saiyan God form, surprising Gohan, but Gohan can still keep up. He didn't know how much stamina training Gohan had done in Super Saiyan 3, to the point Gohan had basically neglected Super Saiyan 2. He didn't see a need for the form. Yeah, Gohan's main fighting form was Super Saiyan 3, and he was happy with that, still having Super Saiyan 2 just in case. Goku, however, did advise Gohan to maybe learn a bit of God Ki, as Goku had even taken it up himself. Gohan knows that Goten has gone really far down the line of God Ki, really perfecting that line and forms like that. But forms like that don't really interest Gohan. He may give it a try, though he doesn't really like Goku's line either. It's strange for Gohan. Goku sees that Goku has evolved the power of the Saiyans and broken through his limits, and Gohan, however, could tell that Goku was still holding back in that fight. He looks at his father, knowing that Goku still has another form. In any case, Gohan joins the squad, and so does subsequently Piccolo. Goten and Trunks now go off to recruit Android 16. He has had slight modifications, spending time at Capsule Corp to grow even stronger, while also spending time with Piccolo, and he of course does still spend time on his island. Of course, he is a park ranger, just like Android 17. 16 can still keep up with everyone, and yeah, he joins the Tournament of Power team. This brings our team to a total of 7, our last 3 fighters being Krillin, Tien, and Yamcha, some of our original Z fighters. Now, the exhibition matches still do happen, and while I'm not going to cover them in detail, I still do want to cover them. Our team here would be Goku, Gohan, and Goten, 3 of the Son family, and nobody would be happy to see them, of course facing off against Universe 9, our first match being Goku against Basil. Goku would immediately power up to Super Saiyan 4, fighting pretty evenly with Basil, Goku clearly having the advantage. He is able to defend against Basil's kicks pretty easily, even showing off Super Saiyan God, a form which fills the gods of destruction with disrespect and disgust. A mortal using the power of the gods is absolutely unforgivable. Needless to say, Goku wins the match and Gohan fights Lavender. The fight goes the same with Super Saiyan Gohan showing off Super Saiyan 3 and his Yardratian techniques, which gives Universe 7 an easy win. Goku still fights Toppo and that all goes the same, but I do want to mention Goten notices as Super Saiyan 4 Goku fights Toppo. He sees Goku for a split second punch Toppo and his aura slightly changes to a reddish-like aura. It surprises Goten, but he feels like he was just seeing things. Goten now realizes that actually, maybe he wasn't seeing things. Has his father surpassed his limits by training with Whis? Has he unlocked a new form far stronger than anything he currently has? Goten figures Goku must be saving this for the tournament though, so he decides to not question it. With the tournament now underway, Goten decides to do some light training with Whis, and he reveals a special technique to Goten that he should try to work toward. He thinks that Goten would be able to achieve this maybe eventually. Ultra Instinct. Goten is curious of this technique, but decides not to put too much thought into it. With all that said, I think it's time we begin the tournament. The Tournament of Power begins and things start out pretty much the same. Goten and Trunks head off together and so do Goku and Vegeta, while the rest of the team, Gohan, Piccolo and 16, all stick together, fighting as a unit. Goku and Vegeta still do take on Universe 9, and with the power of Super Saiyan God, they easily eliminate the trio de Danger, relatively easily, with them being the first ones to be erased. Now Krillin and Yamcha are still knocked out by Frost, only taking out some of the lesser fighters themselves, the same sadly occurring to eventually to Tien Shinhan. He is also taken out. Now, interestingly, Goku still takes on Caulifla, showing her how to access the power of Super Saiyan 2. The both of them fight and eventually Kale goes berserk, and you know what that means? Yeah, she knocks a lot of fighters out of the ring. Goku fighting her in Super Saiyan 4, barely escaping himself. Meanwhile, Goten and Trunks have now decided to split up, as they've only knocked out a couple fighters and have yet to use any real power. They're conserving their stamina, of course. However, that's when they both come across 2 fighters. Trunks runs into the self-proclaimed fastest in the multiverse, Dispo. He could immediately tell this guy is strong, and so he powers up. Trunks decides to use the power of Super Saiyan 2, having not used this form in a while, and he fights Dispo. However, Dispo is much faster than he thought, and he takes multiple deadly speedy hits, which all really sting. Trunks decides to skip his ultimate form and instead powers up to Super Saiyan God, his flaming aura erupting. They're now fighting pretty evenly. He can tell Dispo isn't at his maximum power of speed though, and Trunks decides for now he shouldn't waste too much energy on such a strong fighter, and it would probably be wise to leave Dispo in for the end. Trunks fires a burning attack which distracts Dispo, now fleeing, deciding that it's not worth using this much energy on him. Meanwhile, Goten runs into Hit. He promised Hit they would eventually fight again, and he's keeping to his word. Hit smiles, powering up. Goten, now powering up to Super Saiyan Blue, smiles back at Hit. Hit begins using his assassination techniques, Goten doing a good job of avoiding them. He now rushes Hit, powering up, and the two begin their battle. Hit making good use of the time skip. Multiple shockwaves now begin to appear, their fight going pretty similar to their first fight. Goten looks at Hit though, telling him if he wants to see his new and improved all-new technique. Hit smiles, of course he does. That's what they agreed to, didn't they? Goten now screams, his aura going red. He powers up. Everyone turns around. They can all sense it. This even slightly catches Jiren's attention. Goten screams as he yells, Kaioken! Yeah, Goten powers up to a Super Saiyan Blue Kaioken times 10. Hit is surprised, but smiles. So, this was the power you were hiding from me before. The two now begin their real match. Goten breaking through Hit's time skip as the two fight to the max. Hit using all of his killing techniques. Eventually, Goten decides to end things. He powers up a full power Kamehameha, smashing through Hit's time skip. He blasts the assassin out of the ring, eliminating him, thus bringing to a close their exciting rematch which Goten had promised him back in Part 8. Goten powers down, realizing He used a lot of energy for so early in the tournament and is going to need to conserve the majority of it for later. But he did defeat one of the strongest people probably in the tournament, the assassin from Universe 6, Hit. The tournament now plays out the same. Gohan knocks out Frost and everyone fights generally the same people. Anilaza is eventually still formed with everyone fighting together to defeat him, and more universes begin to get knocked out, with Ribrianne's universe also being eliminated. This now leaves 3 universes in the ring: Universe 7, Universe 6, and of course, Universe 11. Everyone regroups, but Goku and Vegeta are nowhere to be found. The both of them have gone off to take on Jiren. Meanwhile, everyone begins to split off. Goten, Trunks, Gohan and Piccolo eliminate a bunch of the Universe 6 fighters, such as Kaba, Vegeta, and both the Namekians, and they also defeat most of the Pride Troopers from Universe 11, of course the weaker ones. This leads to the last Universe 6 fighters being Kale and Caulifla, who face off against Goten and Trunks. We've got 2 duos facing off against each other. Kale, now being able to control her power, fights Trunks, while Goten fights Caulifla. So Kale is going to be in her, of course, skinny, lighter Super Saiyan form, not in her berserker monster-like form. Trunks goes into Mystic, while Goten goes into Super Saiyan 2, and the fight goes as you would expect. Meanwhile, Goku and Vegeta are now facing off with Jiren. Vegeta jumps down, deciding he shall be the one to defeat Jiren. As the two begin their battle, Goku gets ambushed by Toppo, powering up to Super Saiyan 4. Toppo begins to distract Goku as the two enter into a rematch. Toppo did want to fight Goku again. Vegeta sees this but just scoffs, as he doesn't need Kakarot's help anyways. He powers up in his base form and immediately rushes Jiren, landing a few punches. He realizes this isn't going to work though and powers up to Super Saiyan. Vegeta continues to attack and Jiren doesn't even budge. Jiren's like a brick wall compared to Vegeta. Vegeta, now slightly annoyed, powers up to Super Saiyan 3, which makes Jiren actually block Vegeta's punch. Vegeta flies back, even firing a big bang attack. He has had enough of this and powers up to Super Saiyan 4, the two now fighting. Jiren is impressed by Vegeta's strength, but he knows this is definitely not enough to defeat him, as shockwaves begin to form. They begin to blast around the arena as Vegeta sees Jiren quickly growing in strength, and Vegeta tries to power up into Super Saiyan God, but Jiren tells Vegeta, ultimately, it's useless. He fires a full power blast at point blank range at Vegeta, which crashes Vegeta through the entire ring. This seemingly knocks Vegeta out, but he manages to blast himself out at the last second, still somewhat weakened. He blasts back at Jiren, kicking him right in the jaw, then jumping back, chuckling. Jiren recovers and stares Vegeta down. Impressive, you are a true warrior, but even a warrior can't defeat me. Vegeta laughs. I think you're fine, Jiren. This isn't the limit of my power. This is only the beginning. He smiles. Now let me show you my true strength. He now screams a primal roar, powering up. His aura explodes as Vegeta in Super Saiyan 4 begins to power up. Electricity crackling. The raw power feels as if it's about to explode. Vegeta grins. I had never been too fond of the power of the gods. But recently, I found a way to make use of that power. Vegeta clenches his fists as he screams, in my own way, I'll show you just how strong I really am by breaking through my limits. He now screams. His hair glows red. His aura begins to take a crimson-like red colour. He grits his teeth as he screams, his energy bursting. Jiren, shocked by Vegeta powering up, his energy skyrocketing. Whis and Beerus both smile as Vegeta screams, a crimson light forming around him. It shoots up into a massive red pillar. As it dissipates, a shadowy figure walks out from the smoke, his aura completely encloaking him. The dust clears, revealing Super Saiyan 4 Limit Breaker Vegeta. This is by far Vegeta's strongest form. He screams, powering up. Everyone notices it. Goten and Trunks, shocked that this is what Vegeta achieved with Whis. The real fight now starts. Vegeta fighting with Jiren, actually landing some pretty good hits, even being able to dodge most of Jiren's attacks. He shows the true power of someone breaking through their limits. The Pride Troopers now begin to bounce around the ring, moving at hyper speed. Vegeta following, exchanging in a flurry of punches and kicks. Vegeta doesn't hold back against Jiren, landing multiple good hits. He even fires multiple ki blasts, creating shockwaves, injuring Jiren, who immediately powers up. As the two continue to fight, Jiren realizes if everyone in Universe 7 were to join Vegeta right now, then he may actually be defeated. He looks over to Toppo, still fighting Goku, and knows he must match Vegeta. He must match what Vegeta has done and break through his own limits. With this, Jiren shows off his full power. Now fighting Vegeta, it becomes increasingly difficult for the prince to keep up, although he still is doing very well, even landing a point-blank Gallic gun. However, the fight comes to a close when both warriors blast at each other with a punch, Vegeta being sent flying but still injuring Jiren too. Quickly recovering, Vegeta powers up, seeing Jiren far off in the distance. Meanwhile, a Super Saiyan 4 Goku has been fighting Toppo. He wants to help Vegeta, who's clearly struggling, but he just can't. Toppo is keeping him busy, and without some extra help, Goku doesn't know what to do. Goten notices this, and while he's fighting Caulifla, he knows that his father is in need of help with him, and Trunks regroups with him. Goten now explains the situation to him, to which Trunks chuckles, telling Goten he can handle these two. With that, Goten flies off to help his father. Trunks now powers up to Super Saiyan Blue, fighting both the Saiyan women. They both use an excellent combination of teamwork and strength to fight Trunks, telling him they saw him fight against Hit. Trunks, however, quickly becomes accustomed to fighting two people, using their teamwork against each other. For example, he would blast some of Kale's attacks back at Caulifla. This frustrates the both of them. Trunks keeps at it in Super Saiyan Blue, basically beating the both of them up, using more technique than power. He has been training since he fought Beerus Black and has grown much stronger. Trunks decides it's about time to wrap things up and jumps, firing a burning attack at Caulifla. She is sent hurtling out of the ring, but then, all of a sudden, Kale shouts, "Now!" Suddenly, Caulifla comes flying back up, crashing into Kale's body, the two of them fusing using the Patara. Yep, Champa still gives them the Patara to form Kefla. The two climb back up onto the ring. Trunks, shocked at this development, didn't know fusions were allowed. He looks over to an infuriated Beerus, to which Champa sticks his tongue out at him, keeping up their rivalry as gods. In any case, Kefla immediately powers up to Super Saiyan, much to Trunks' surprise. She now blasts at him at super speeds, and with a cocky attitude, kicks him, sending him flying to the ground. Trunks quickly recovers. He knew fusion was allowed. They could have planned much better for this tournament. Zeno just thinks this is cool, and as usual says, "Sugoi, Sugoi." Yeah, you know how Zeno is. Trunks now looks. Kefla, who is clearly outclassing him in strength, he knows he's going to need to get stronger. He takes a deep breath and powers up to Mystic Blue. She grins. Soon, I'll learn how to achieve that Super Saiyan Blue form too. This power's the one used against Hit to defeat him, isn't it? Trunks, who is pretty focused, looks up and says, "Yeah, it is." The two now rush each other, Trunks' white mystic aura colliding with Kefla's green aura, and they now begin to fight. Trunks shocked by Kefla's bubbling strength and her ability to continuously grow. Kefla also begins to fire multiple different ki blasts. Trunks uses his good ki control to counter with his own, avoiding a few. He does manage to land a gut punch to Kefla as she spits to the ground. She stumbles back but quickly recovers, jumping forward, ready for a round two, elbowing a caught off guard Trunks. While all this has been happening, Piccolo and Gohan have been taking on Dispo, the speedy fighter. Piccolo has been having some difficulty keeping up while Gohan, who did go to Super Saiyan 3, is faring decently. They are mainly stuck due to his speed though, as he's too quick for them to even hit. Piccolo does try to use his Hellzone grenade to catch him off guard, but Dispo easily avoids all of them, jumping around, showing how agile and nimble he really is. The both of them now go on the defensive telepathically. Piccolo devises a plan with Gohan, the both of them coming up with it. Gohan powers down, much to Beerus' surprise, to regular old Super Saiyan. Focusing his ki, he goes on the defensive, find Dispo. So yeah, Gohan is now in Super Saiyan. He's decided that Super Saiyan 3 is using too much ki. He's going to try and conserve his ki and fight more defensively. Dispo now begins to fight with him, and Gohan begins taking multiple hits on purpose. Dispo, still moving very quickly, is able to overwhelm Gohan with a flurry of punches, as he's quite confused why Gohan is just letting him hit him, but assumes Gohan must have run out of energy. That, however, is when Gohan yells, "Now!" He powers up to Super Saiyan 3 in an instant, avoiding all of Dispo's attacks. He knocks Dispo off balance, and in this split-second window, it allows Piccolo to wrap his arms around Dispo. Dispo is shocked at this, locking him in. Gohan smiles. "You underestimated us, Dispo." However, in a panic, Dispo begins to struggle, having a battle of endurance with Piccolo as he tries to break free of his grasp. Gohan tries to knock Dispo out of the ring with prolonged attacks, but he just can't. Piccolo decides they only have one option and tightens his grip. Jumping down, he now releases all of his energy. In a massive energy explosion, in this second, he jumps, grabbing hold of Dispo. He then yells, "Gohan! Now! Knock both me and Dispo out of the ring!" Gohan powers up and charges up a full power Masenko. He realizes Piccolo's right. He has to knock out Piccolo to knock out Dispo. Piccolo smiles at him as Gohan nods, knocking him and Dispo out of the ring with a massive Masenko. Piccolo holding Dispo in the same way Goku held Raditz when, of course, Piccolo killed Goku all those years ago. Meanwhile, Goten, after he had left Trunks, powered up to Super Saiyan God and attacked Toppo, helping out his father, giving him the much needed help that Goku was looking for. Goku thanks his son, flying off to help Vegeta with Jiren. Goten now powers up to Super Saiyan Blue, facing off against Toppo. The two begin their battle, and Goten actually dominates in this battle. He lands multiple punches and kicks, and while Toppo does manage to use multiple Justice Flashes, Goten is able to quite skillfully avoid these blasts, landing a kick to his face. Goten realizes that he is actually quite a bit stronger than Toppo, and so he powers up to a Kaioken times 20, ready to finish him off. Goten now completely defeats Toppo at this point. It's completely one-sided in Goten's favour, and Toppo would notice now that Dispo has just been knocked out. With Dispo having been knocked out and Jiren now probably facing not only Vegeta but also Goku, Toppo realizes he has no choice. He screams as a purple aura surrounds him, and he powers up. He bulks up, his body becoming sharper. He goes to his Hakaishin form. Yeah, he is revealed to be a god of destruction candidate. Goten now powers up and begins to fight Toppo, who now utilizes the power of destruction. This allows him to completely destroy the rocks in the arena, and he is able to deal massive damage to Goten. Although it's not that bad. The two now begin an intense battle. Goten has never fought someone like this, as he has the battle of his life. Using different energy attacks, he lands multiple punches and kicks, flying around as fast as he can to avoid Toppo's Hakais and energy blasts. The two continue in an intensive battle, both their universes riding on this fight. At one point, Goten even cloaks his fist in the Kaioken aura, punching him straight in the face. This does deal a lot of damage. The two continue to fight as their battle intensifies. The stamina issues of Kaioken quickly begin to catch up with Goten, but it's not as bad as it used to be. He and Toppo continue to fight, firing multiple blasts at each other, landing consecutive blows. Toppo, however, jumps back and decides to end this. He charges up a massive Hakai, yelling, "This is Goten's end." He fires the full power blast, with Goten barely being able to block it. The massive blast begins pushing Goten back as he stretches out both his arms, trying to push the blast back. He's pushed to the edge of the arena, digging his feet in the ground as the Hakai is about to engulf him. He's going to stop this blast from pushing him off. He however begins to feel excruciating pain as the Hakai tears away at his arms, his muscles straining with the Kaioken not helping. Goten is slowly now being pushed out of the arena. He won't give up though. As he slowly begins to tremble, he screams he won't lose. He can't let his universe be destroyed. Not when they've saved the Earth so many times. He thinks back to what started this. Gohan. He's the one who started all of this. His brother standing next to him. His Gohan. Gohan, now in Super Saiyan 3, smiles as he looks at his brother. Did someone call me? Goten shoots him a grin as both brothers begin pushing the Hakai back, moving it ever so slightly. This gives them a few second period where they both charge up Kamehamehas. This is a brother Kamehameha. They both fire their Kamehamehas, shocking Toppo, that massive blue energy blast smashing through the Hakai, completely obliterating it. Toppo, being hit by the brunt of the blast, is sent flying, crashing from one side of the tournament ring to the other, being completely eliminated and flying off. The entire middle bit of the ring, a brilliant, light, bright blue energy beam. As the two brothers celebrate and smile, they feel something strange. The Hakai from Toppo crumbled part of the ring, and where they were standing can't take any more damage. That entire part of the ring falls off, both of their brothers falling down. They're both going to be eliminated. Gohan, however, kicks his brother back up, sending him his energy, re-energizing Goten. Goten barely falls back onto the ring, climbing back up. Shocked Gohan got eliminated just like that. He powers down, deciding to go see how Trunks is doing in his fight. Meanwhile, Goku and Vegeta have been fighting Jiren. Just like Vegeta, Goku of course also managed to break through his limits, achieving his very own Limit Breaker form. As both Goku and Vegeta work together against Jiren, the fight quickly becomes quite similar to their battle in the original, where Vegeta achieves evolution, with them doing quite well working together. They're very unpredictable, and when working together, Jiren is slowly being actually pushed back by Vegeta and Goku in their Limit Breaker forms. Jiren on the verge of defeat. He powers up to gut punching Goku as maximum strength, then kicking Vegeta. This sends both Saiyans out of their Limit Breaker forms to just regular Super Saiyan 4. Goku looks over to Vegeta. We have to do it, Vegeta. He grits his teeth, saying, "No! I'll defeat Jiren alone, Kakarot. I don't need your help." Goku looks at Vegeta. "Vegeta, if we lose this, the universe will be erased. We have to do what we talked about before. That means Bulma and Bart and Bra too. Do you really want both of them to be erased?" Vegeta looks away. "Ugh, fine. If we lose this, though..." Vegeta looks back at Jiren. "Well, Jiren, it would seem this fight is now coming to an end." Vegeta flies up, firing a big bang attack, flying behind a rock and hide, and they use their ultimate technique, something they had actually already practiced quite a lot, but not told anyone about. Nobody knew of this. A massive beam of light shoots up as both of them perform the fusion dance. Yes, Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta jumps up, ready to face Jiren. Jiren, angered, rushes him. "What? You fused?" The two beginning to fight. Surprisingly, Jiren is actually still stronger, but Gogeta is still holding his own. They are exchanging multiple punches and kicks and energy blasts, both doing an excellent job of avoiding and attacking. This ends with Gogeta eventually taking a punch from Jiren being sent flying. He quickly recovers though, and then he powers up to his Limit Breaker form, a red aura beginning to surround him. He closes his eyes as he screams, the entire arena shaking as the ground beneath him cracks. He lets out a primal roar, going into Limit Breaker Gogeta. His hair, slightly redder, shines as he blasts at Jiren, their battle now being completely even. Gogeta being the more dominant one, landing multiple punches. It's completely one-sided. Gogeta beating down Jiren. But Jiren isn't landing any attacks anymore. Gogeta continues to try to rush Jiren, unloading a flurry of punches. Jiren just trying his best to defend. Gogeta fires two massive blue energy blasts which completely hit Jiren, leaving him in pain and agony, then teleporting in front of him, delivering a massive roundhouse kick. Goten sees this and decides that Gogeta clearly doesn't need any help, and he flies towards Trunks. He sees Trunks still fighting Kefla too, to which he then sees an agitated Beerus who really doesn't know what to do. With both these massive fights happening, Gogeta v Jiren and Kefla v Trunks, he decides to take a massive risk and tosses some Patara to Goten. Goten then yells for Trunks. Now putting one on, Goten smiles, chucking it to Trunks. He catches it, and as he puts it on, Kefla misses a punch due to Trunks being sent flying towards Goten, forming Trunkten. Yes, it's the return of Trunkten. In base form, he turns around, Kefla shocked. "Hey, you fused too!" "Damn right we did," Trunkten says with a smirk, "and I think it's time we tried something new." Trunkten clenches both his fists. "How about Trunkten Blue?" He powers up to Super Saiyan Blue, the blue aura sparking around him. He rushes Kefla, trying to eliminate her as fast as possible as a fight breaks out. They begin to create hundreds of shockwaves as Trunkten easily overwhelms Kefla. She gets angry and uses the same blast she used against UI Goku. Trunkten, however, easily avoids this blast, now blasting her out of the ring, just like Goku did. Yep, Kefla, she tried to fire that massive energy blast, but Trunkten was just too quick and too powerful, blasting Kefla out of the ring, eliminating Universe 6. He now blasts over to Jiren and Gogeta, using a bunch of energy, landing next to Gogeta, who has been fighting Jiren. The father-son duo smile at each other. We've got Super Saiyan 4, Limit Breaker Gogeta, and Super Saiyan Blue, Trunkten, against a full-powered Jiren, who has been weakened by Super Saiyan 4, Limit Breaker Gogeta. This is a complete one-sided beatdown. They both power up, rushing Jiren, who can't do anything. He gets beaten up with only a few minutes to go in the Tournament of Power. They both land hundreds of punches and kicks and blasts. Jiren clinging on as this father-son fusion duo is unbeatable. Jiren can't do a single thing against them. They're just too powerful. They know they now go in to finish Jiren with a final Big Bang Kamehameha. But all of a sudden, they both conveniently defuse at the same time. Yep, they use far too much energy, and Jiren is now able to retaliate, with Goten, Trunks, Vegeta, and Goku all in base form fighting him. Yep, the fusions drained both of them, and Beerus' worst nightmare has come true. Very similar to the original, they all use teamwork now to slowly weaken an already weakened Jiren, and they finish Jiren off with a father-son final Kamehameha. This fully blasts Jiren out of the ring as they all power up. into Super Saiyan. They can only power up to Super Saiyan because they've used so much energy, giving Universe 7 the win with still 4 more people in the ring. They make the same wishes in the original, and every single universe is revived and they return to their universe with peace being restored in the multiverse. And that's where we're going to be leaving things off for right now, with an incredibly long part, and I really didn't mean for it to be this long, but there was just a lot of stuff I wanted to cover. So yeah, if you watched to the end and did enjoy, please be sure to hit the like button below and subscribe with post notifications on. Also make sure to join my Discord server and go follow my Twitter at ABlazeMonkey. But with all that said, I will see you all in my next video. Laters!